Nathanael Anderson, soon to be father, and grew up in Michigan area, mostly Grand Rapids, and moved out to Washington about 10 years ago for work. So for me, my calling is wrapped up in entering the church as well. So I grew up in a Protestant household, went to service, once, twice a week, Sundays and Saturdays, read the Bible. And then, but in college, I had some great Catholic friends, some great Catholic teachers, and they started, in a way, getting me on the right track towards looking into the fullness of the faith a little bit more. So I'd credit them with a lot, and then I'd also credit working out in D.C. I worked on Capitol Hill, and I ended up looking into more and more Catholic moral arguments, working on issues like the HHS mandate and others. So those were two that sort of got me interested. Two aspects of my journey. And then for me personally, what really was the straw that broke the camel's back was the rosary. I was struggling with some things, and one night I decided, well, there's all these Marian promises about I'll help you if you pray my rosary. So I didn't necessarily buy into it all, but I finally made a leap of faith and took up my rosary and started praying, and it was transformative and very powerful, and experienced God's mercy. And that brought me into seriously looking into the Catholic faith. I found, as my home parish pretty soon, St. Peter's on Capitol Hill, with Father Bill Byrne, and he became my spiritual director and started proposing to me one day, actually in confession, whether I'd ever considered the priesthood. And I kept thinking about it, and then Easter, I think about a year and a half after I entered, I got to see my parents enter the Catholic Church, and at that point, I put in my application for the seminary. One thing, I tend to be cautious in a lot of ways, but before seminary I had a motorcycle, actually 3 different motorcycles, and I made a number of trips on that, one of them from Grand Rapids to Washington, D.C. and back. And that was an awesome journey. A lot of people tell you, you'll see, or at least a lot of refrigerator magnets and self-help books will tell you that the journey is more important than the destination. For anyone who believes in heaven and hell, that's obviously nonsense, but the journey is very important, and it keeps your mind on the journey. So I very much enjoy that. Maybe we'll get back to that someday.